Hey everyone, this is Kyle with Simulation Lab here in Brooklyn, New York. Back again with another 3D Studio Max tutorial using TyFlow. And today we're going to be looking at how to set up props for your actors. So props are objects that are basically bound to your actor, and then during a simulation of your actors, the prop can fall off, it can have physics simulation associated to it or something. So you could do a whole lot of stuff with actor props. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. So I made a quick little animation here. It's like a 6-second long loop. So play it. So basically all of the hats, as you can see, the hats fly off the actors' bodies, and the cookies are also props as well. And the cookies fall and they have physics and they tumble over and they interact with the characters as they fall onto them. So you could do just an enormous amount of like really fun things with actor props. It took me a little while to figure out, so this is a slightly more extensive tutorial, um, but definitely worth checking out. So let's jump into Max. So first up, I'm going to do my units, centimeters, 1 equals 1 centimeter, good enough. And then I'm going to go ahead and create a biped. And I'm going to make him about 50 centimeters tall, something like that. Make him however big you want. And as in my previous tutorial that I did about like ragdoll actors, um, I used a standard biped, but if you want to replace it with, an actual like character mesh, the process is slightly different, but it's fundamentally the same. All you would do is in your actual actor, you would reference the mesh and not the bones. But for this, just to be as easy as possible, and we'll stick with the standard Max Studio biped. Okay, so now we have that set up. I'm going to go under, helpers and TyFlow, and I'm going to set up a Ty actor, place that in our scene, and real quick, I'm going to grab the root bone of my biped and just zero him out, just so we keep everything consistent, and I'm going to zero out my Ty actor as well. And then for this one, in the Ty actor under the rig nodes, I'm going to click the 3 little dots there, add, and I'm going to display expand all, and I'm just going to grab all of my bones, and then those are going to be actor rig bones. And this is, so if you do have a pre-rigged character, you rigged one yourself, you have the skin modifier applied to this, you would just select the skin and not the bones. So that's the only difference. And then from here, I'm going to grab one of my bones, and under the motion tab, I'm going to load a file, and I have a little run file that I used in the previous tutorial, so we'll just use this one again. And that just gives us a little bit of movement, and so we can maybe we'll apply a ragdoll physics to this guy as well, but we'll have the props. Maybe we'll make a hat for him or something, and we'll have the hat fly off or do whatever. So in this tutorial, the prop will be some kind of hat, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, so back in our Ty actor, so that animation that we just applied is 17 seconds long. It's a 17-second long loop. So under our Ty actor, in the modify panel, I will pop open the animation tab there and create a new one, and I'm going to name this run and set it to 17 seconds. Okay, and then from here what we could do is let's go ahead and create our hat. So we'll just set everything up first. Maybe we'll create like a dunce cap, like a cone. Cool. Just the radius a little bit. I don't know. And I'll just modify this. I'm just going to get rid of the bottom face of the cone. So that should be cool. Okay. And then that is going to be our hat. So we'll just name this hat. And then under helpers, under TyFlow, we're going to go to create a TyProp. And we'll just stick that somewhere for now. I'm going to move this up. Actually, I'll go ahead and use a line tool, and I'm going to line it to his head. And then maybe just drag it up a little bit so it's like on top of his head. Something like that should be fine. And the way TyProps work is they have to be part of the bone structure of your character. So you have to link it to one of the bones. In this case, we're going to link it to the head bone, right? So I'm going to go ahead and select the link, and I'm going to link my TyProp to the head. Right? So now as he moves around, the TyProp icon moves with him. Right? And TyProps are cool because if you have a bunch of actors, you can randomize the props, like the different colored hats or something, in the props list. Actually, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll create a couple different hats. So, you know what we'll do is maybe we'll create a cylinder, or sorry, a sphere, and excuse me, and we'll go ahead and do an edit poly just real quick. And I'm just going to remove half the sphere. Something like that. This might look totally stupid, but we'll see. Scale that down. And if you make any adjustments to like the mesh itself, you're going to need to, make it like an egg shape. That's kind of funny. You're going to need to, under the utilities panel, you're going to reset the transforms for that object. Okay, under our TyProp, now we're going to add both of our hats. So we'll do hat 1 and hat 2. All right. So go ahead and pick our hat 1 and our hat 2. Cool. All right, and then back in our Ty actor, we have to actually add the TyProp to our rig nodes. So I'm going to pick it, and I'm going to add it to our rig node list. Cool. And one last step, this is very important. If we want to separate out the actual TyProp in the sim later on, like if you want to have it pop off his head, or you want to change the materials, or do whatever you want, you're going to want to set a group to the object itself. So we'll go in under Type Properties, and under Simulation Groups, we'll go ahead and set it to Group 2. So the TyProp will be Group 2, and the rest of it will just be Group 1. We'll assume it's Group 1. Okay, so from here, let's set up like a helper, or like a icon, and we'll stick it right here. Maybe I don't know. Doesn't matter what size it is. Actually, let's kind of just like make that a little bit more concise. Oops. And for our scene organization here, and by the way, I'll post this file, a link to download this file in the description, so you guys can poke around at it if you can't figure it out from the tutorial. I know I move a little fast sometimes, so. And I'm just going to create a new layer, and I'm going to name this appropriately named Dude. I'm going to grab the rest of this crap that's associated to the biped and stick it in there. And I think what we could do is we could just I'm just going to add the actor to the default list just so we can refer to it easier. Okay, cool. So now from here, let's put this somewhere in our scene, and under standard, go ahead and create a TyFlow object. We'll stick that right here. And I'll slide this over, pop up in our panel so we can see everything. Cool. And for now, we're just going to go ahead and birth at 0. We'll just birth one actor for right now. And we'll set this to display geometry. I'll kind of skinny this up a little bit so we can see everything in our scene here. Cool. And then we'll do position icon. Pick our TyFlow icon, and maybe just for now we'll stick him right in the center pivot. That'll be cool. And then just so we can see what's happening, we'll just stick our actor in here now. I'll remove that guy, and I'm going to select my Ty actor, add selected. Cool. So now we can see our bones of our actor and the dunce cap. It just chose the first one for now. You know what we'll do is we'll birth two. See if it'll randomize it a little bit. And surface. Okay. Doesn't. Okay, here we go. So it is birthing. If we birth multiple, this looks totally stupid. Um, but if we birth a bunch of them, eventually I'm not exactly sure how to set um, the probability of the props to show up. I'm sure it's somewhere in the settings. I don't know. So that's something to keep an eye out for. Is the probability of the props. But regardless, we don't really care about the probability for now. We'll just birth one for now. I just want to make sure that this is all working and stuff, and we'll stick it right in the center pivot. Cool. So now the primary issue with props is that you have to add them to the actor, and the actor basically treats it as a bone, right? So there's a few ways you can basically extract that. Now that since we set this TyProp to be a particular group, we set it to be group 2, we can reference group 2 in our simulation. So for right now, what we're going to do is let's just set up everything for our actual actor, for the bones, for the actor. So we'll toss in a particle groups operator in here. And we're going to change everything for the actor itself to 1, and we're just going to add that to group 1. Okay. And we're going to change this to geometry. And we'll just set up all the physics stuff for him, for just the bones of the character for right now. And we're going to, of course, like switch this off, switch it to kinematic, toss in a physics collision operator, and we're going to do interparticle collisions. So we'll just hook this one up. And of course, nothing happens yet because we got to play our animation. So we'll go ahead and send out the whole actor. Now that we have this set up, that's going to kind of like run in the background for just the character itself. So that's cool. So we'll send this out, and we'll go ahead and toss in actor animation here. I'll try to organize this the best I can. And we'll play our animation, our run animation here. Type that in the sequence name, run. And then we'll set that to loop. And then I'm going to change the speed to something like 0.5. And set this to geometry. All right, cool. So if we send that out, and if we scrub our timeline, our animation is going to be playing, and it's going to loop. And it looks pretty cool. Neat. So now what we could do is give them a little bit of movement. So I'm going to go ahead and do a speed, wherever the hell it's at, speed. There. Stick the speed in there, and I'm going to change it to particle y-axis. And then we'll give them a negative value of like -4 centimeters or something. Let's see how that works. That's a little fast. -2.5. Sure, looks great. All right, cool. Now the fun part is we'll do is like set up a something for him to collide into, like for like a little surface test or something. We'll do like a wall. Put like a big wall in there or something. All we want is this to be like a wall trigger something. And we'll go ahead and under object properties, just do display as box, just so we can see what's happening once he passes through the wall threshold. Move this back a little bit. All right, cool. So it takes a few steps, and we're going to test his collision with that wall. So basically what we'll do is under the actor animation, we'll go and create a surface test. And since we have it selected, I'm going to go add selected. And that's going to be our wall trigger. Cool. And we'll set it to less than 10 centimeters. It's fine for now. And if it gets past the wall, we'll do a physics switch and activate all. Oops, and I forgot. We got to do the actor collect. And we'll go collect all actor particles. And we'll connect that up. Change this to geometry. We'll do a physics bind. And then here we'll do physics rigid joint. And we'll just make them ragdoll for now. You can make them do whatever you want, but just for ease of the tutorial, we'll just do a ragdoll. Keep everything the way it is. We'll do simple proximity bind, and then under ragdoll bind, enable actor bindings. Cool. And we'll just keep everything the way it is, and we'll kind of test it out and see how it looks. So basically, the actor is going to be running at a particular speed, and then once he's playing in the animation, and once he gets within proximity of this wall trigger, then he's going to simulate physics. He's going to basically, do the whole ragdoll effect. So this is basically where we ended up in the previous tutorial. But for this, the step further, right, is where we're going to have to separate out the hat group, right? So what we'll do is we'll send out, and you know what, I might switch this output side, and under filters, I'm going to enable the filters, right? And I'm going to add a new filter, and under property type, I'm going to choose groups. And then I just want to separate out group 2 because that's our hat, right? Remember, because under the TyProp, just real quick as a refresher, under the TyProp, we added this TyProperties modifier, and we set the simulation group to 2. All right, so that's what we're going to do. We're just going to separate out the hat. And then from here, you could really do whatever you want with the hat. So I'm just going to set it to be a standard like physics shape. Change that to geometry. And we'll do a physics break. So we'll break that away from the rest of the bones. And yeah, and then what we could do is we can grab this guy, the physics collision, and we can paste it down here as an instance. And that's basically how you separate out the hat group. So let's check it out. Let's see if this actually works. So he's running. Boom! He hits the wall. Oh, and he falls to his demise. But okay, one thing we forgot to do is in our actual TyFlow object under physics, we have to add the simulation groups, being that we separated them out. So we had to add 1 and 2, right? And we'll keep our default gravity and all that stuff. So now when he runs, boom! As soon as he hits that wall trigger, he just collapses over into a ragdoll. So that's cool. And then the hat tumbles over too. Sweet. So now what we could do is from here, now that we have that working, I'm going to go ahead and hide the dude because we don't need to see him anymore. And maybe we'll just make this bigger so we can have a bunch of them. Something like that. Cool. And maybe we'll set this to 8 or something. And instead of pivot, we'll do surface. And in case any of them are touching each other like these guys are, we'll do a spread operator. Spread. Let's spread that out 10. Oops. 10, 20, something like that. That's cool. Another thing we could do is instead of using, you know what, let's do that. This is stupid. Instead of using a icon, let's just do like a spline, right? And then in our segment, we'll grab this segment. I want to have them all in a row, and so I don't want to have to like mess with adjusting any of that stuff. So we'll go ahead and divide it by like six times. That's cool. We just want one pivot for each character or whatever. So instead of position icon, we'll just replace that with position object. And instead of faces, we'll do vertices in order, and we'll pick our dude. And we can get rid of our spread operator if you don't need that anymore. So that's cool. And we can even get rid of our icon. We don't need that. So that's cool. So at least they all start at like the right time or the same location in a row. And I'm just going to increase the size of this a little bit. Perfect. Awesome. So now we have a big old row of them. Boom, and they simulate physics. So that's looking pretty cool. And if you want to like stagger their animations or something, you could like, blur them from 0 to like, I don't know, 20 frames or something. Neat. So they all kind of start at different times. And then, I'm just going to set this to 0 again. I want to see all of them. Cool. So basically that's it. And if you want to, let's say if you want to apply like a different material or something to the hats and bones, we'll set something up real quick. So under standard, we'll just do like a multi-sub object. Discard the old one. Name this one dude. I am so descriptive in my material names, my nomenclature. Okay, so we'll just set this one to be the body. And we can set him to be like pink. And copy this down, and maybe we'll just do like hat 1. Actually, you know what? We'll have that one be pink, and let's change the body to be like a generic white, grayish white or something. And then hat 2, set that to be blue or something, and I'll show you guys how you can randomize these. And make one more color, because why not? About a peach. These are my like colors that I like to use a lot. And set that to 4. Cool. So that'll be our dude material, right? I'm going to go ahead and apply that to my TyFlow object. And you can already see something's happening there. That's cool. So what we're going to want to do is set a material ID for just the body. So let's set that to 1, right? And that changed everything to the default like gray material that we had for 1. And then from here, we're going to send out, actually we probably just grab this guy because he's already sending out group 2. So we're going to copy him and we're going to paste him here. And we can switch the output side sticking outward like that. And then we're going to separate out our hats, and then we're going to apply different materials to those. So we'll do a material ID, and we'll set that to, I don't know, frequency, and set 0 for ID 1. ID 2, we'll do like 33, 33, 33, because we have 4 materials. All right, we have 3 materials that we want for our hats. 1, 2, and 3. Sorry, I can't. I gotta make sure I get my names correct here. Okay, so set up our frequency 33, 33, 33. Great. And then we'll stick that in there, and then we'll display geometry. Awesome. So now we have different color hats on our dudes that are running. And you could do the same if you want different color bodies, if you have like character meshes that you want to change or something. So now it's great because you have like full control over all of that. Man, that guy's really doing the splits there. That looks painful. Awesome. Alright guys, that's it for this tutorial. If you have any questions about using TyProps or actors or anything, please leave a comment in the comment section below. If you have another like different way of doing this, so like a more simplified way of doing it, please let me know. That'd be great. I'm always interested to learn, like more optimal ways of doing things. Um, but yeah, if let me know what you thought of the video. If you liked it, please leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. And if you liked it, please smash the like button and subscribe for more tutorials. Got a bunch of other stuff coming up. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.